the world of agentic AI, and a lot of things are changing. They're changing quickly. They are a little bit scary for some. And many people are fearful because there are more and more jobs that are being displaced. But I want us to step back and look at this a little bit differently.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
You know, an interesting thing is happening in the world right now, and I am a little bit fearful about how we as people, humanity, are going to handle the changes coming with AI, specifically when it comes to our jobs, our careers. They say that within 5 years, 90%, that is not an exaggeration, 90% of white-collar jobs will be displaced. But I want to look at this a little bit different because I don't work off of fear. I work off of faith. I work off of hope. I work off of reality and positioning myself for success. And as a coach, I try to help others to do the same. I want to give you an analogy today that I think is apropos. I'm going to give you the analogy. We're going to take a quick break for sponsors. Then I'm going to come back and tie it together. The analogy is what I call the ATM Paradox. If you know anything about the evolution of the ATM, the automatic teller machine, it was introduced to the world in 1969, the same year that we first landed on the moon, if you believe that we first landed on the moon. We won't go there. 1969, the ATM is given to the world. And by the early 1970s, the experts of the world, about 75% of the experts in the world, predicted that in the next decade, that the bank teller's job would be decimated, that they would be gone. They would essentially be replaced. It makes sense. You've got an automatic teller machine. Why would you need a human teller? Why would you need to pay someone to stand behind a counter and take your money if the machine could do it for you? The interesting thing, folks, is that if you pay attention, over the next 15 to 20 years, not only did the bank teller's job not disappear, but they actually doubled. The number of bank tellers in the United States, and maybe worldwide, but I just know about the United States, actually doubled between the years 1970, actually it was 40 years. Between the years 1970 and 2010, we did not see a decrease. We saw an increase, a doubling in the bank tellers. Now, what did happen was bank tellers went down after 2010. Why? Because of the smartphone. That's another story for another podcast another time. But when we get back from the break, I want to tie this together with those of you who might be a little bit anxious about what's happening in the world right now when it comes to agentic AI. First, I want to pause and remind you of another great technology, not agentic AI, but a really cool software called TrueTracks. TrueTracks, folks, is the ability for you to be able to support your adjustments very, very seamlessly, very, very easily. It works amazingly well, and it is super cheap. It will save you time. It'll let you sleep at night. So when that scary letter comes from the state board or the revision request comes in, you can feel confident that your work file is solid. You can find out more, and by the way, try them for 6 weeks for free. If you use the code AppraiserCoach, a coupon code AppraiserCoach at checkout, you will get 6 weeks for free by going to their website. The Appraiser Coach is the endorsement. The website is truefootage.tech/tools. Again, that's truefootage.tech, TECH/tools. Working RE Magazine is where I go to find out what's going on in the world of appraisal. That is my chosen career. It has been for 30 plus years, and Working RE has been there for the last little while, teaching me, training me, educating me on what's going on in that world. Folks, it is free to sign up for their emails, and I get them on a regular basis, and they tell me what I need to know. They do all the hard work, bring it to your doorstep. It's workingre.com to find out more. Again, workingre.com. All right, folks, we're talking today about the world of agentic AI, and a lot of things are changing. They're changing quickly. They are a little bit scary for some as you look at what's going on in this world of newness, of technology, of progress, if you will. And many people are fearful because there are more and more jobs that are being displaced. But I want us to step back and look at this a little bit differently. I gave you an analogy before the break about the ATM and how the fear was that the ATM would replace bank tellers. But what actually happened over the next 40 years was that the number of bank tellers actually doubled. Why? Well, the analogy, I think, can be applied to us as white collar workers as well. Specifically, look at it this way. ATMs did not replace bank tellers. They replaced the boring parts of being a bank teller. See, instead of having to stand in line to get change on your $100 bill, you can do that through the ATM. Instead of standing in line to deposit money, you could do that through the ATM. Instead of standing in line to get money, you could do that through the ATM. But what ended up happening was people were still coming into the bank because there were other things that needed to be done. And the bank teller now moved from a number counter, a money counter, again, ATM could do that, to a human relations expert. Now think about that for a second. When you go to the bank, it kind of drives me crazy, actually. When I go to a bank and have to talk to a teller and they say things like, so, where are you investing? So, how's your mortgage going? So, did you hear that we have a reduced rate now for business loans, right? They now become salesmen. They now become relationship experts. They now are having conversations that ATMs can't have. And their job switched. It changed from the mundane, counting money, to the important human element of talking to another human being. And as a consequence, what ended up happening was bank business actually increased, so much so that other tellers, other branches had to open up. The number of branches in the United States doubled between 1970 and 2010. Thus, the number of bank teller jobs doubled in that amount of time. I want you to think about that for a second when it comes to agentic AI, because agentic AI can and does do the mundane, the boring, repetitive processes that happen in our day-to-day lives. Folks, if that's where you find the most satisfaction in your job, hold on, Nelly, because big changes are coming. If you find that you are the most value in your human relationships, in the professional side, the thinking and the analytical side of what you do, I think you're going to be okay. In other words, folks, I don't think appraisers or any other white-collar jobs are necessarily going away. They are changing. And we're going to be utilizing AI in our lives rather than just doing what we've always done, which is a lot of the mundane, repetitive, boring parts of our job. So as we move into the next century, as we move into the next decade, as we move into the next couple of years, folks, rather than being fearful of what change is occurring, I encourage all of us to look at what is happening, be eyes wide open when it comes to what's happening, and be prepared to not be out of a job, but be into a different type of job. By the way, folks, upcoming, we've got the Elevate Appraiser Retreat. This is going to be held in Sedona, Arizona. I am so excited. This will be with my good friend, Mr. Blaine Fyan, another coach and podcaster with the Real Value podcast here on whatever station you're listening on. This is an amazing man, a friend of mine, and we are getting together to change your life. And I'm not exaggerating. Our first Elevate Appraiser retreat was held in the mountains of Yosemite National Park, or just outside. This time we're going to be in Sedona, Arizona, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. This is an event you do not want to miss. If you are only going to education for CE, this is not the place for you. If you're only getting education for classes and conferences, this is not for you. This is not a boring conference underneath fluorescent lights in Las Vegas. This is something incredibly different. This is a retreat in every aspect. We are going to be at a beautiful, beautiful retreat called Briar Patch Inn in Sedona, Arizona, in a beautiful time of year. Should be 70 degrees and absolutely gorgeous. And we have like 3 seats left. I'm not joking. As of this recording, there's like 3 seats left. You need to be there, folks. It is life-changing. Take a peek at the testimonials from last year, and I think you will be convinced at how incredible this experience is going to be. We hope to see you there.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit TheAppraiserCoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.